Hey guys, my name is Ryan Fargo, owner of the Flucker Live clothing brand. Today is going to be a wild one. I'm not sure if you're aware or have heard of the famous story called the MOMO monster. Now if you're from Missouri, I assume you probably have heard some sort of something about it, whether it be fact or fiction, that's up to you. What the plan is today is I'm going to go on a solo investigation and dive a little deeper. I'm going to pack up the Prius and shoot straight down to Louisiana, Missouri and ask some locals and ask some other people, some officials, if they have heard of this or if they remember this happening or if they think or have any evidence it actually did happen, because that's what I'm curious on, if there's anything maybe they left behind, not even the entities, but maybe the government studying them. So we'll see. We're going to go down and take a little journey. It's only actually an hour away from here, and I'm located in St. Charles, Missouri right now. So we're going to go shoot the shit an hour towards Illinois. It's going to be right on the riverbed there is where Louisiana, Missouri is. So it's going to be a really good spot. A lot of brush, a lot of woods. So I could see this happening, especially in 1972. You're talking about a time where it wasn't as built up. We're talking about a time that was more nature-filled. So as time began to keep growing, as the industrial age did, we started building and expanding. So going back, if you put yourself in those shoes in 1972, it probably looked a lot different than what it does now. So I haven't been there myself, and I'm from Missouri, so this is going to be the first time I've ever been to Louisiana. So here we go. I'm going to shoot the stuff down, come along with, and I hope you guys learn some stuff and have some fun along the way. Let's go. What's going on? Before we hit the road, I figured I'd give you a little more background information on the MOMO monster, about what it exactly was, because I was pretty vague before. So what MOMO was reportedly is the Missouri Bigfoot. It is a Sasquatch-like creature with a pumpkin-shaped head, and it goes into details, but I don't know if it's true or not. So what we are going to do is go find out. And prior to those creatures being seen, the whole month of July, there was a whole lot of mass UFO sightings on the same area this occurred at. So I don't know if those go hand in hand or they're just coincidence, but you never know.
I'm getting too booed. I don't need like dubs of mine. What I look like without them 20. Them hoes like.
Good, y'all. Had to make a little detour there. I actually started charging my battery after I filmed that little intro and freaking forgot it at the crib. So I had to U-turn back around, put in that battery after it was charged up, and now we're about to hit the road. Head to the one and only Louisiana, Missouri, home of the infamous MOMO monster. Now we're gonna go in and get the facts. That's all this is about. Facts, not fiction. Let's go. About T-minus 29 minutes away, so halfway there. Just doing a little halfway mark on the video. It's been nothing around here. I'm talking, I went through 2 towns, and they are so small, dude. This is nothing but farmland out here, so it's wide open space. It's looking good, it's looking promising. Not really too wooded, it's mostly just open farmland. So we'll see what we stumble upon here in Louisiana, Missouri. Like I said, I'm about to be there in about 25 minutes, and I'm about to turn it back on when I get there. So, see you there. Bing! Welcome to Louisiana! Alright, so behind me is where that train was just going past here. I just pulled into Louisiana, Missouri, and this is the first thing you see on your right, and it's actually a pull-off camp spot. I'll go ahead and do the roundabout view. Another fellow was taking photos right there, but right past him there's all campsites. You can just pull off and camp for free, I believe. So that is a good sign, good sign. That means they're really naturey out here, kind of. Well, I hope anyway. So I just pulled in. Trying to get to feel this place, and as I pulled up, I only went through 2 or 3 towns, and there was only a few amount of businesses in these small towns that almost looked run down to where, you know, people almost forgot about these little cities out here. And Clarksville was one of them I passed, and now we're in Louisiana, so we made it. Next up, I'm about to maybe go get some food and talk with some locals, hopefully, and see if I can pick their mind about the event that happened in 1972. Just sat down after looking at the train and stuff. I'm about to look up a restaurant to go get some food at. I was looking around, man, there's very few options out here. Slim to none, actually. So
I don't know where I'm gonna go. A lot of these places close at 2, so it's 1 o'clock right now. I don't want to pull up right before they close, really. I'm trying to grab a beer and trying to pick some minds. So there's literally only a few I'm seeing on here, and the only one that seems to be open is this Mexican joint. So where are we gonna go? To the Mexican joint. Alright, so I pulled off real quick because once I started getting into the city on the way to that Mexican joint, I saw the police department right there on my right. So I pulled the car off. I'm about to give them a call before I walk in there, and I'm gonna see if there's anyone there that knows about this this event that went down. Here we go.
You have reached Louisiana Police Department. If this is an emergency, hang up and dial 911. If you need a police officer, please call 573-324-3297. Police clerk or police administration, dial 1. Court clerk, dial 2. Animal control, dial 3. All other city matters, dial 4. Thank you and have a... The number you have dialed has not been recognized. Please try again.
Let's try that again. I guess I'll just go in there. I'll film and let you know what happens. So I just pulled into the police station back there. Actually, I'm leaving now. I'm on my way to the cemetery, and you may be wondering why. So when I walked into the police department, I went into the back. There was no one there, so I kept walking back. I found the police department inside that, and I talked to the city clerk, and they were very aware of the story, and they said it really depends who you ask out here on what happened. So what they did was give me a guy named Wiley Harrison, which apparently is a part of the original family that was seeing this creature during this time period. So I'm gonna go straight to him at the graveyard and see what he has to say. Hopefully he's there. They said he may not be, but it's a good chance he is. So we're gonna hit that right now and see what we can discover. Just found the cemetery here. I started driving up. I'm not really too sure where the building is. He said there's a lot of white trailers around it, but I pulled into the cemetery and it is so cool, man. This is like a 1-lane road that wraps all the way up this hill. It's 1 lane all the way up and it looks so cool, man. Take a look. Rest in peace to our fellow Americans. Alright, so just driving around the cemetery looking for white I have a feeling that might be it. It's a white bus though, it's not a trailer. We'll find out. I don't know. Just winging it, man. This is so crusty and cool, man. I've never seen such a setup on a cemetery before. Like, back on the road, looking for Wiley. Alright, well that's the end of the cemetery, so I'm gonna pull up on that place and hope that it's the one. Let's take a look. Wow. I just went inside Wiley Harrison's maintenance shop at the bottom of the cemetery, and I just had a one-on-one combo with him for about 20 minutes. He didn't want me to bring the camera in because there's a new movie that just came out, and they actually gave all their personal information away on this movie without any sort of reimbursement or any sort of, warning that they're going to do that. So he didn't want me to bring the camera in. His name was Wiley Harrison. He actually saw it with his own eyes at the age of 5. Him, his brother and sister were out playing, and this creature was just standing at the edge of the woods looking at him with a dead dog under his hand. They thought it was a kid at the time, is what he said, but turns out it ended up being a dog. His dad actually ended up being buried up here, and there's a group of people that tried to capture him, and they never did. But they also had a encounter the day before on the water tower. The water tower of the city, apparently this creature was seen beating on, and it was just echoing, and they were whistling too, like just making it known that they were there. So then the following day is when that incident occurred, and as I just talked to him, it's in his brain fresh as a Thanksgiving turkey. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. I don't think this was fiction. I think this was fact. And he seemed really weary about talking to me about anything at first, and he slowly would start saying more stuff. But it's a shame he didn't want me to didn't let me bring the camera in. But I came out here just to get that information, and I got it. So I'm not gonna complain. I appreciate him doing that. Him saying it happened, it was real, and he saw it with his own eyes, and he's still here to this day. That says more than any movie, any news article, or audio could tell me. Just the person himself. I just started walking up here. Apparently that school used to be in business, always active. I believe this is where he said they saw the MOMO creature. I just started hiking up a little bit, but when I go back down there, I'll show you a layout of the field and stuff they said they were playing and when they saw him. I'm just hiking up right now, just cause, man. Curiosity killed the cat, they said, but I ain't a cat. So we're gonna see what happens here. I'm walking up, man. This town's pretty rough, but this needs to have a lot more life out here considering the history that's gone down out here. Just like the Cape Girardeau incident, there's a lot of stuff that we don't know about that probably should. Just that's as simple as that. These kind of questions are things we should be focused on more than, who's the hottest designer brand, even though Flucker's the answer to that. There's a lot bigger things to worry about. I love Flucker and everything we do, but the questions like this is what I live for, the real purpose of the world and what's really going on this planet, because our minds can't fathom it, and as evolution progresses, we may be able to, but we may not. So I'm just along for the ride. Just walked over to this area here. I'm not really sure what I'm doing up here. I'm just kind of just looking. You never know what you'll find. I wish I had like a radiation meter and some equipment with me. Stick to the calls. I'm actually gonna turn the camera off. Just sparked up a pre-roll here, dipped in keef and whatnot. This right here is where they were all playing. Wiley, his brother and sister, when they said they were playing on this field right in front of the school there. And as they were playing, they saw a creature come out, or just standing there looking at them, holding a dead dog. 5 years old he was. Just imagine how scarred you'd be if you saw that at 5 years old. Just playing like a normal day. You look up, you see a creature unknown to the human species. You're gonna reconsider a lot of things we know, and it's well worth it. That is fantastic. If I was Wiley, I would be a very blessed man. but it's a blessing and a curse, because at that age, you're scarred, and probably not going to be a positive scar. It's going to be a bad one. So I'll turn around. This is where I was just hiking. About to head to the water tower, where he apparently was banging on and howling from the night before this happened. So let's go. Yo, that UFO house is sick. This thing right here, I thought it was like a business. Nah, this thing's a straight house, garage and everything. They come out, you trying to buy it? I said, yup. No, not yet. You see my face right here? That's the fucking face I make after today, man. I just got back from Louisiana, Missouri, looking at the MOMO monster, and I have come to a conclusion after my own investigation that this in fact did happen, and it wasn't a folklore, but in fact a real event. And after talking to Wiley Harrison, a witness of the MOMO monster himself, he seemed like a very genuine guy, and every time he talked about the story, he seemed to start reliving it. So from my perspective, it all seemed to match up. He talked about a lot of things. He didn't want me to bring the camera in just because of some people made a movie this last year about it and used some personal information that they didn't get permission to. So he was really pissed off about that, which I understand. So I wasn't able to bring the camera in, but I was able to talk to him. And just being able to talk to him about such a thing happening, and I mean, I didn't know what to expect when I walked in there, and I was like, so what's up with this MOMO monster? And he goes, what's up with it? I mean, it's real. Is that what you want to know? Because it's real. And I was like, wow. I mean, in his head, he's sold that it was real. And from the story of him, his brother and sister playing on the field when he was 5 years old, looking up and seeing this creature standing there with a dead dog under his arm, and they dipped off so damn fast, dude. And you know, it takes a second to let it set in, but you know, these things happen. These kinds of events and things happen all over the world, and not even just in America. So we got to really start questioning what's really going on here and what this life's really about, because I think we might be getting it a little bit wrong. I know being a physical being is very important, but I think being spiritual and being very in tune with the real world and the real stuff going on in the galaxy is going to be very beneficial for us as a race. So today was very interesting. I'm glad I went out there and checked it out. He said if he ever felt like talking about it on film again, we would be the first person he called. So I mean, we're not making a movie, but we could have him sit down and just have a great interview. So I really hope that day comes. I just got back, and I'm here to tell you that the MOMO monster is real. He was there. He's still, I mean, Wiley Harrison still lives in the town to this day. The other two, brother and sister, had left the area. They're no longer in Missouri, but he stayed around, and I don't blame him. After seeing something like that, that might call you in a whole nother type of way. So it was very interesting going out there, guys, and I hope he hits me back up. But if not, today was just worth it, just talking to him one-on-one. So thanks for coming out there with me. We'll see what we can get out of this. Love you guys. Flecker baby, have a great rest of your night. Take care.